In this video, we're going to go over the differences between Azuga Classic and Azuga 2.0 platform. It shows a much modern, more sleeker look on the 2.0. On the left-hand side is the vehicle card list. It gives a much more compact look to your vehicles with all the information that is needed. You can see the vehicle name, the driver name, the group, the current event of that vehicle, and the current address and location of that vehicle, including the lat and long. If the vehicle is GPS tracking, you can see the miles per hour here. If you want to see the look from the 1.0 version, you just click this calculator button and it will go over to the 1.0 list. You can expand the list by clicking this blue expand button and expand it out to almost half the screen. To see the rest of the information, just go down to the scroll bar at the bottom and you can scroll right to see that information. You can also adjust the columns by clicking the column button drop down and clicking what columns you want added to that. We're going to go back to the compact version. You can sort by newest to oldest or by any of these on the list here. You can also sort up from newest to oldest by clicking this down arrow and up arrow. You can also filter by events, such as if you wanted to see which device or vehicle had a device unplugged or ignition off currently, you can just select one, click apply, and it'll show all the vehicles that have device unplugged. You can also search by group or vehicle, by geofences or by tags. You can export by PDF or Excel for this information. You can also do a search by event, group, vehicle, geofences, or tags as well. Now, one of the new features that have been added, and as you've noticed if you've used the 1.0 version, is that there's no refresh button. You can click this button on the right-hand side here, and this will give you more details. So you have the option to choose the refresh rate by either instant or periodic. Instant is anytime there's a new event that had occurred, it will show at the top of the list of your vehicle list. When you choose periodic, the refresh rate changes to a minimum of 30 seconds, and you can change that to up to 300 seconds. If you wanted to expand the map to full screen, just click this top right-hand button here. Now on the map, you can click map options and it'll give you a couple different options to choose from. You can choose the current satellite view, or you can choose the default map view. You can see the weather on the map, and you can see the current traffic on the map as well. Now a new feature that's been added are map overlays. You can see it on the heat map here. There's a temperature heat map which shows temperatures in your certain area or across the United States. The darker orange shows hotter temperatures, and then the green area shows cooler temperatures. You can also see precipitation. On the dark blue areas of the map, that's where all the precipitation is, and you can use that to determine if you want your vehicles to drive in that area. Another feature that was added on the vehicle list over here, especially this is specific to the compact version, is if you click on these three dot button here, it'll bring a drop down. It also zooms into that vehicle that you are interested in looking into. So you can view the breadcrumb just from here. You can find the nearest vehicle. You can generate directions. You can create a geofence here, or you can update the pairing of the driver for this vehicle. If you wanted to zoom in, zoom out of the map, you just click these two buttons. And if you want to go to the roadside view, you can click the Google Man here. You can see the legend for both vehicles and asset. And if you want to recenter the map, if you're zoomed into a vehicle, just hit recenter and it will show the whole map. Turn off the map overlay. So unlike the 1.0 version, the find nearest vehicle to an address used to be on the top of the map. Now it's on the bottom right-hand corner here. So you just click that button to find the nearest vehicle to an address. And also the send tracking links is down here as well. Now the last feature that's been added so far is this button down here. If you click expand, it'll bring up all the events that have been current for this day. So you can see the vehicle idling, speeding events, hard braking, sudden acceleration. Here it shows device unplugged, so same as if you wanted to filter by events up here. It's going to unfilter this. Then I'm going to expand. And if you click device unplugged, it will bring all the devices that have the unplugged event on the vehicle list. So it's a much easier way to sort through certain events that you want to focus on, and you can choose them much easier on this map. Okay, so that was the live map. We're going to go to the dashboard. So this is probably the most changed part of the platform. In the top left-hand corner here, you can choose all your vehicles or a certain vehicle, or you can choose by group. And then on the top right-hand corner, you can choose the time frame. So right now it's current week. Let's choose current month, and we can see that information. So currently here, we can see that there's 41 active vehicles, 1,015 trips, and a little over 8,613 miles have driven so far this month. On the first section here is miles driven. So during this miles trend, you can see on the drop down it says total miles. So this is for your fleet so far this month, each day. So on August 1st, 937 miles were driven, and then this next month was 1,429. You can also choose by miles per vehicle. So this is the average amount of miles per vehicle per day. You want to choose a goal. Let's say the average is, you want to choose a goal of 30 miles per day. It'll bring up a graphic of the 30 to give you an idea of what that would look like on here. The right-hand side is vehicle utilization in miles on a circle graph. So it shows 48.8% of vehicles have driven less than 200 miles. 17% have driven more than 300, and then 34% have driven between 200 and 300 miles. The next section is vehicle utilization. So this circle graph shows 100% vehicles have been utilized so far within the month. And then this next section shows the active vehicles. So what percentage of vehicles have been active or inactive on each day. You can also add a goal here on percentage. So say if you wanted to say you only wanted 20% of your vehicles each day, it'll show a graphic on here what 20% it looks like. Next is going to be the driver scores. So it gives a more visual look at how your drivers are doing each day based on their driver scores. And it shows the safe, risky, watch list. So it it varies each day. And so you can notice on August 4th that the risk level has risen. So that's something to maybe look into. But then it did tend to go down a couple days after that. And then on the right here is a circle graph showing a more visual look at your driver scores. Next is the safety cam. So there's not too much of a change between version classic and version 2.0 as far as information on the safety cam. You can still, if you do have live stream enabled on your AI cameras, you can click that here. It's the same as 1.0. Request videos is the same as 1.0. You can choose your drivers on the left-hand side, the time frame, and then if you wanted to search for certain events, you can apply the filter here. Now, one of the things that has been added, and so on version 1.0, you had to click into the video to see the initial and final speed. This is now added to the top screen. And then as well as filtering through certain events is also been added to this. So it's much easier to see if you wanted to search vehicles that had sudden acceleration. All the vehicles pop up and they categorize here. Okay, so next we're going to go over to rewards. And we're going to choose current month. So rewards is much easier to use now. You can choose the amount that you want to reward the driver. So let's say you want to reward this driver $25, and then all you have to do is just click the check mark here, and you can do this in groups. So let's say you wanted to add this driver $25, and then you wanted to add this driver $5 because of their good driving scores. You can see at the bottom here that the subtotal is 30, and then you can send rewards. So it's a much easier way to reward your drivers. On the history here shows a much more visual way as well. So as you can see where the sender is, who the sender was, the sent date and time, the driver, the group of that driver, the amount that was sent, and whether it was redeemed and for what card. So it's a much more visual look. You can easily sort this out. You can sort it out. You can add or remove columns. You can select by column, or you can search specific drivers. So this is currently by status. You can search by group data, rewards redeemed, rewards yet to be redeemed. You can do that by driver or by group. And then finally, manage hasn't changed much. It looks pretty similar to the 1.0, where all you need to do is just click the green button to activate or inactivate certain cards that you'd like your drivers to redeem. Okay, we're going to move on to reports. So going forward, the last three sections we're going to go over, reports, maintenance, and admin, are all going to be very similar. The left-hand side shows all the information as far as what you're looking for under each tab. So all the reports that you're looking into are going to be on the left-hand side. If you wanted to see where your which schedule reports have already been created, you can see that here. So under schedule reports, you can see how many reports have been created, how many for each individual report, and you can choose by frequency as well, whether they're daily, monthly, weekly. If you want to create a custom report, all you have to go through here and request custom report. And then to schedule a report, all you have to do is go through each individual report, and on the top right-hand part of that screen is click schedule. Into the report, it looks very similar to 1.0. All it is just a layout change. So let's say we wanted to look at the braking. And as you can see, it shows the same information. Just like I said, the layout change looks different. And you can, if you had multiple alerts that you were generating, you can search by alert type, you can search by vehicle or by group. And it's the same throughout every report. Now, the change here is that if you have Drive Safe enabled on your account and you use those reports, that Drive Safe has been changed to Phone Monitor. There's no difference between the two. They've just changed the name to Phone Monitor. And then finally, the last report, which is different, this is newly added to this platform, is the multi-vehicle breadcrumb. So we're going to head and choose a different date other than today, and I'll choose 2 vehicles to show the multi-vehicle breadcrumb. Generate. So here you can see 2 different sections here. So this teal color is one vehicle, and then the purple color is another vehicle. And you can see these are color coded here over the vehicle name. And all you do to look into the breadcrumb is just hit this drop down, and then you can select the first breadcrumb. So when you do, I'm going to change the map to this simpler layout here. When you do, you can zoom out, and then you can see these purple arrows show where the vehicle went on their breadcrumb. And then you can repeat that process with the other vehicle or vehicles that you've chosen. So that's the alerts page. Next is maintenance. So you'll have maintenance reminders, and then to add a reminder, just like in the reports page, top right-hand corner, add reminder, and then go through all the steps to add that. You can see by status which reminders are overdue, upcoming in the next 30 days, or what's saved for later. You can search by service type. You can search by vehicle individually or by group. And then for service entries, same thing as reminders, top right-hand corner, click Add Service Entry, and then you can see that information here. Any service entries that have been added, you'll see that information here. So let's see if there's any ones for the quarter. So we do have some by service type for the specific service entries. And you can search by vehicle, by group, or most recent. And then finally, admin. Just like in the maintenance and reports page, top right-hand corner, click Add Vehicle to add vehicles to your fleet. And all you do is when you clear through the add vehicle, just make sure that you have the asterisks filled out when you're adding this vehicle. Same thing for drivers. If you needed to add a driver, top right-hand corner. If you needed to add geofence, top right-hand corner, add a geofence. And if you have a lot of geofences on your list, you can sort by name, if you wanted to search by name, or if you wanted to search by an address. If you wanted to add a user, top right-hand corner, add a user. And then if you wanted to add an alert, top right-hand corner, add alert. Pick up what alert that you'd like to choose. Make sure that all the asterisks are filled out, and then you can add that alert. So this concludes the differences between Azuga Classic and Azuga 2.0. If you have any questions, contact customer care or your customer success manager. Thank you.